Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome to Panzer Corps 2. Today we're going to be diving into this brand new strategy game, and I must say, if you are a big fan of grand strategy, this is definitely a game you should look into picking up, because I've been playing it since launch and been having an absolute ton of fun with it. I never played the first game, so those of you who are die-hard veterans of the series, you know, I might seem pretty bad to you, but you know, for the most part, just coming into the game on this one, I am severely impressed. There's a lot of depth to it, and the game really shines on these massive scenario battle maps where you're commanding hundreds of units, and yeah, things can get pretty goddamn crazy, and I've really actually been enjoying this game in multiplayer, which for a slithering game, I don't really get to say too often, because previously their multiplayer system wasn't very good. You know, it was very janky and not very flowing, and it definitely has taken a large step towards a better system now. You can now play both in the same game. I know it sounds crazy to have to say it like that, but that was actually a thing. You previously weren't able to be in the same room as someone. They'd have to do their turn, and then you'd get the file, and then you would do your turn. It's a whole mess, but I'm really glad that they've now improved their system and they're working forward. Still seems like they need to do some work to it. Like, you can't at the moment delete games that you do no longer want to play. You can, there's a lot of options which I think are really let down multiplayer, like not being able to fully customize your army, not being able to customize your general and stuff like that. But hopefully they'll add loads of new scenarios to the multiplayer and add customizable options like that to the multiplayer, because I think this game shines in multiplayer when you're both trying to outplay each other and strategically, you know, just take people off guard. Like, the game is awesome, it really is. And luckily, Slytherin have been kind enough to go ahead and give me 5 keys to the first Panzer Corps with all the DLC. So if you guys want to go ahead and get your foot in the, you know, in the water, get your toes a bit wet and kind of mess around with the original game, which I heard is absolutely amazing, then I'll leave 5 codes down below in the description for you guys to check it out. Just let me know if you've used a code so I can kind of scratch it off the list so people don't try them all in the comments down below. And if you guys want to see more of this game on the channel, just again, let me know, because I think for a grand strategy game, this is absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do is I thought we'd just go ahead and start one of the campaigns. So the way the Panzer Corps works is it has, I think, 5 branching campaigns where you take your army through each mission, and what you do in the previous mission, how well you do in the previous mission, affects the next one. If you lose all of your elite tanks in the first attack on Poland, then you're not going to have them tanks for the invasion of France, and you're going to have to be using weaker units, and that will obviously affect you pretty heavily going forward. You've got Poland, and I believe this is the invasion of Europe, because as you can see, this is a full war covering campaign, and it has 20 to 23 scenarios. So I believe this is the entire war for Europe. Then you obviously have the invasion of Russia. You have North Africa, which is great to see. So many World War II games completely just ignore Africa, and it was such a major turning point in the war. You also have kind of the envelopment of the Red Army here, as well as the invasion of Sicily, and then obviously into Italy as well. I believe Operation Barbarossa, actually that covers the entirety of the war. This must be kind of a smaller scenario on the march towards Stalingrad down here, probably. And yeah, as I said, I really hope they continue to add more DLC and scenarios, not only to single player, but also to multiplayer, because as I said, you'll see, you'll kind of really get a good idea of just why this game would be so sick in multiplayer. But what I thought I'd do is just go ahead and play, you know, the invasion of Europe. You know, it's you know, a classic, as you can say, and I believe the first battle is pretty small scale. It's just kind of like taking some parts of Poland, so you guys can get a good idea, and the scenario won't take hours to complete. There is also a nice little ability to basically customize your campaign. I love options like this. In a grand strategy game, I feel like you should always have options like this. You have combat randomness, so you can kind of add a little bit of RNG in the midst of battle, where the stats kind of fight off against each other, and then, you know, sometimes you can have like an extraordinary attack, and they'll do 50%, or they'll do a little bit better, or they'll do a little bit worse. So I like leaving combat randomness on. You can undo moves. I generally don't like to do this, because it's kind of like I made my decision. I do, however, use I do kind of use this just in case I misclick, because that kind of sucks. You can obviously commander customization, we'll leave this on. Weather's really interesting, that completely affects the way that your Air Force plays or how far you can see into enemy territory. Fog of War, of course, you know, as a big part of the game. Terminate, of course, because, you know, a lot of the missions rely on you taking certain areas within a certain time. Custom army, I'm not going to do that this time, but you can build your own armies for these scenarios and kind of start off. Generally, I would do that, but this is just kind of for fun. And then we obviously have hero units that you can be added, so you can, I think you can get like Rommel on a tank unit and he'll just give it amazing bonuses. Awards, of course, so units, for example, can gain loads of bonuses if they do heroic things. So for example, if a unit constantly is getting bombarded by artillery, getting hit by infantry and tanks and isn't dying, they'll get like certain awards that will allow them to stick around a little bit longer. And just basically make them tougher. It's a really cool system that's in place, and hopefully we'll get some in this one. Iron Man, we don't need to do that. And then you got some kind of special challenges where like you got like less turns to take stuff. You've got like the enemy just have amazing bonuses, and also you've got your other kind of stuff. So, you know, this is a really interesting one. Basically, you have to try and complete the campaign with no more prestige every single turn. It's really interesting. But anyway, we're going to just kind of stick with this one. Sorry, kind of a long intro. But again, this is very much a grand strategy game. And I feel like with grand strategy games, I can just take my time. If you're here for a quick thrill, this is not the game for you. Oh yeah, also, I should mention as well, sorry, long intro. If you guys want to check the game out, you can go ahead and pick it up, I think for 10% off over on my Games Planet affiliate link down below in the description. Games Planet are a trusted reseller. You know, they work directly with these companies to resell keys, so it's completely legitimate. I'll just go ahead and give you a Steam key. And again, I'll leave them down below in the description if you like what you see and you want to pick up the game and you want to buy it for a little bit cheaper. So this is something I really love as well in the game. So before you do jump into a mission, you kind of have a little bit of decisions to make. You can either attack northern Poland or southern Poland, and you kind of have, you know, each of these missions will be different. So not only can you kind of have that replayability, but also it's kind of a nice little kind of decisions to be making in your campaign. So, as a newly minted general in the German army, it falls upon you to spearhead the German invasion of Poland and prove your mettle in combat. Always choose your avenues of assault wisely, as future decisions will dramatically impact your campaign and even the course of the war. Awesome stuff. Some nice foreshadowing there. So more close quarter combat in the siege in the southern route, or more mobile and open ground warfare in the north. So this will probably be, you know, in the south will be much more kind of city fighting, I would assume, and in the north will be much more mobile kind of tank warfare. So I guess, you know, I personally love the city fights because it's so interesting, because of the whole way the combat works in entrenchment. But I think for the purposes of this video, we'll go north because it's kind of more of a mobile, you know, fighting, and we use panzers more and stuff like that. So we'll attack from the north, and we'll go from there as we'll load into the scenario and prepare ourselves. Yeah. Because, yeah, so here we go. We get to go ahead and design our own command. And I really hope they add this into multiplayer. And they also try and add in branching campaigns as well into multiplayer. Because it just has so much potential. It really, really does. So right here, we get to customize our commander. We get a nice little picture. Let's go for the like, kind of Vladimir Putin looking dude. He looks cool. And we get to consider our strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, just kind of like any like kind of custom creation. These weaknesses will give us points, and these bonuses will take away points. So you can pick from a whole range of stuff, ranging from, you know, kind of cheaper infantry per slot, so you can have more of them, to more prestige for capturing flags, more movement for your tanks, you know, kind of auxiliaries don't take up as much, faster experience gain, to, you know, people suffering encirclements lose their equipment 2 times faster. You go ahead and get more heroes and stuff. You get, I think there's also one which is really cool that allows you to get way more bonuses in the campaign. I think it's, I don't know what one it is. It's one of these. Give you like a really big bonus to, oh yeah, right here you get more prototypes for each mission. So it means you basically upgrade your army a lot quicker. So definitely we can't play German and not pick Panzer General, just meaning our tanks cost a lot cheaper. And I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe pick up some of this stuff. But the thing is, this stuff is like really damning throughout the entire campaign. You know, like Green Army, you can only replace your units three times with elite infantry, meaning your units will lose experience when you try and replenish them. This on paper doesn't sound that bad. You'll be like, oh yeah, how often will I need to replenish my units? But in the larger scale, when you're commanding like, you know, 50 to 100 units, this is pretty goddamn important. You know, so I don't know. Maybe we will just. I mean, I kind of want to have a little bit more. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm actually going to take a look at this off camera and then kind of come back with a better design, because I feel like I need more than just a Panzer General, right? So I'll take a little look-see and we'll go. I think I've done this. I don't know. All the negatives seem really, really bad and damning, especially for a long campaign in Europe. I don't know how well this is going to go, but maybe you do unlock more points as you complete more missions. We'll have to find out together, because I've only done a few missions and we didn't manage to unlock any, but oh well, you know, we can just dive in. So I've gone ahead and picked up Panzer General, which means all our tanks cost 25%. Actually, all I can do as well, thinking about it, is I could probably pick this up and then we can grab another position. So, you know, our tanks do cost 25% less, but we have 10% less slots to begin with. So inept logistics, I think, is a fine one to take, and that also gives us some other, you know, picks. So I've gone ahead and obviously pick Panzer General. Our tanks take up less slots, meaning we can have more of them, and also Master of the Blitzkrieg as well, so we get more movement to all of our tanks. I like that a lot. This could also be a great one to get, allowing us to move through enemy zone of control, which is pretty good. Splitting units isn't that great. Encircling enemies is also pretty good as well, so maybe we'll pick that up as well. We'll be like a proper Blitzkrieg, kind of just a mobile force. I kind of feel like if you're going to take Deadly Grasp, though, you probably want to take this as well, Perimeter Control, because they work so well together. I mean, this is just going to be a fun one, so I mean, that's pretty good as well, being able to see back in case you lose stuff. Let's just take up Deadly Grasp as well. So our encirclements take out the enemy a lot quicker. Not that we're probably going to be using it too much now, but that's fine.
I salute your impeccable timing here, General. My telephone call with High Command just finished. Now that the invasion of Poland is imminent, we need to discuss your role in Operation Fall Weiss. During these briefings, I will be your primary link to the directives coming from High Command. While my time on the battlefield may be long past, I can still offer you important insights alongside your orders. Now then, on to the business at hand.
Okay, so these are our primary objectives.
We're deploying your new Panzer Corps to Warsaw to combine with elements of Kluge's 4th Army. Your immediate objective is to cut the Danzig corridor by advancing to the Vistula River. Our move to link Germany and East Prussia is an obvious one that our enemy will surely predict. But I expect the speed of your advance to take them by surprise, allowing you to intercept their forces before they reach more defensible positions. To fully take control of the corridor, these 2 major crossings on the Vistula must be occupied. If you seize the opportunity, crossing the Vistula here in a flanking maneuver could make taking your objectives much easier. Good luck on your first combat operation, Herr General. I would hate for it to be your last.
Me too, my friend. Me too. I really like how I've added in this kind of general talking to you. I think it does really add a lot. So this is the game right here. You have these kind of commanders right here. You see the strength of the unit right there. So the 10 of my units is kind of basically how strong the unit is. Like, basically, I kind of like to think of it as like each unit kind of has, you know, like 10 panzers in it, or this unit has, I don't know, like 1,500 men. That's kind of how I like to look at it, and I think that's fine. And this is probably one of the smallest scenarios in the game right here. They get absolutely just insane. I'll actually show you guys a multiplayer scenario. I've had it on one of the larger maps. It's Fall of France, and you guys will see at the end of the video how large this is. And even though the game doesn't technically like look as you know, beautiful as, you know, other games, you know, like Total War, I think what it lacks in, like, kind of like, I mean, again, I don't even think this looks bad, but, you know, some people, that is kind of their complaint. You know, from what it lacks, it makes up with in, you know, good strategy and and other stuff like that. So we have our tanks, and again, all of these tanks, if we go right there, you can see the stats. So every tank has a stat. You can see it on the left-hand side. Every unit has a stat. It kind of goes from their movement to their kind of scouting ability to, I don't even know what that stat actually is, initiative. Again, there's a lot of stats which I don't even know about yet. And you kind of got your soft attack, which is great against infantry, hard attack, obviously good against armor, anti-air attacks, and also you got naval attacks as well that come in. I mean, you've also got your defenses as well, which are obviously very useful. And then you can see, if I go kind of close to this unit which I'm fighting, you can see that it has, you know, an attack value. The one on the left in the grey on the enemy unit is what I will take if I attack this unit, and on the right is what they will take. So let's take a second just to kind of really take a look at what we have at our disposal. We can't recruit any more men at the moment. This is how many units you can have on the battlefield. And I think because we took that inept logistics, we can't deploy any more men. Prestige is your money, and you can use that to upgrade units. You can use it to improve units, and so on and so on. So this is a scout car that we have back here. You can see the traits of a certain unit right there. You can also see the experience gain by these stars, and as you upgrade them, you get more bonuses, which are obviously very useful. I mean, you can upgrade units to give them certain bonuses, which are, again, very useful. The great thing about a scout car is that it can move multiple times, so you can move it out and you can continue to move it. However, if I was to click and move here, I wouldn't be able to move this unit again. So again, we'll just kind of scout out the enemy area. We could try and seize this airport. Again, we can just take a look. I mean, seizing this airport wouldn't be bad. It would allow us to move our planes up, but we don't need to. I want to kind of see if there's anything coming from the north there. Which it doesn't look like there is. We also have some planes, so this is a really good, this is a fighter we have right here. You can tell right there, class fighter, and obviously because it has the better anti-air, it's got a 10 anti-air. Right here, we've got a good anti-tank and a half-decent anti-infantry tactical bomber, and then we also have a very nice fighter right here. So 2 fighters and a tactical bomber. And again, you can actually zoom in as well, and they actually do look great. Like, I love the look of this game. I think it does what it needs to do very, very effectively. We also have infantry back here as well. So we have just, I think these are just basic infantrymen. Yeah, forced march is pretty useful. And then we also have a pioneer engineer unit. And engineers are very, very interesting because not only can they clear out bunkers very effectively, they can also help your units entrench at 2 times the speed. And entrenchment is extremely important in this game, as it gives us some insane bonuses. But we'll get onto that when we come across an entrenched unit. I mean, more something like this, you can see right there. You can see the bonuses you get. You know, minus 24% damage for being from infantry, a lot more from vehicles and bombardments. This is very important if you're defending to be entrenched. So what I want to do here is I probably want to try and get this unit to surrender, and I want to encircle it, I think. Obviously, our blitzkrieg is very important. We need to be quick, but we don't necessarily have to rush completely down here. So we can definitely encircle this unit and give that some problems. So to encircle a unit, you basically just have to surround it with your zone of control and move on from there. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll probably just go ahead and deploy both of these tanks, one there. So they're actually already encircled because my zone of control, which is obviously the areas around my units, is already covering off these guys. So let's just move in here like so, I think. And we'll basically just encircle this unit. Probably get our tactical bomber, because there's nothing else really I want to move in and attack. So let's just go ahead and bomb these guys. And you can see right there, I did 3 damage, which was for hearts, and then that blue heart was suppression. And suppression kind of leads to units retreating back. And suppression really adds to the game, because it's not just a kind of a killing slog. You can quite easily make units retreat and take more damage if you up their suppression. Unit suppression is always kind of started back down to 0 if the unit isn't encircled at the beginning of their turn. Because this unit isn't encircled, is encircled, it's going to end up sticking around here a lot longer. And you basically want to get this suppression up to get people out of their entrenchment and to do more damage to them with your weapons in it. I mean, they'll fire back a lot more. So right now, you know, we're going to be taking a little bit of damage here. No real need to take this damage. We can also drop down our artillery, as we do have some artillery to fire. Something I do desperately need to do as well is probably make my way down here to the south, because I need to obviously take this town, as it is a victory hex, and I think the objective of the campaign is really to kind of take this bridge and envelop the cities around here. So let's move up some infantry. We want to get these bad boys up. We definitely also want to try and maybe kill this artillery piece as well. So let's get our infantry up as quickly as we can. Again, I guess our tanks should really be dealing with the south here. So yeah, let's get our pioneers up first, probably. So I'll probably get my pioneers like here. We'll get, oh no, I completely messed up. That was actually a mistake by me. We'll get this unit here, and then we'll bring this unit in as well. So we kind of have a nice setup right now. I guess we'll send a unit of infantry. So these guys don't actually have any vehicles whatsoever, but we can force march them to make them a little quicker. And we do see what we did. They do have a vehicle down here as well. And villages and towns and stuff like this are very interesting. So terrain all has their own kind of values to them. They all kind of provide their different bonuses, whether it's, you know, the max entrenchment value, whether it's kind of, you know, what defenses you take into account. And because this is a village, it takes its close terrain value into consideration when you attack. And that means that you take the close terrain, the close terrain defense skill into consideration, which, as you can see on the tanks, is extremely low. Close defense is 0, meaning that infantry can hold up in villages extremely well, because tanks don't have a good close defense, meaning they can't clear out villages very well whatsoever. Do we have any good tanks down? We really don't have like any good tanks. I guess we're going to be a bit slow then, and we're just going to move up like so. I know this is not exactly the blitzkrieg we wanted, but we'll just get ready to push in on that next turn. I'll move up here and start laying some bombardment down. I also do want to heavily suppress this unit before attacking as well. Or we could like really, we could actually break this unit right now, but then I have nothing to overrun it. So let's just continue to work on this unit. We can also bring up our fighters as well, which I'm going to do. I don't think the Polish have much of an air force, so we can be pretty safe with our air force. And I guess what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to protect this tactical bomber with my fighter. So basically, if the enemy fighters come in, this will be able to help out my tactical bomber. And then we can try and, you know, just completely slaughter this. So because we've raised the suppression level of this unit, we no longer take damage on it, which is, again, really awesome. So we should be able to make it retreat. And then that should surrender it. Perfect. And then now we've got the overrun ability, meaning that we can... so this tank has overrun right here, meaning that when it kills a unit, it gets basically I think half of its action points back, and it can shoot again. It's a really, really good unit to have. So we'll just move that down the road a little bit more. And our artillery is all in good position. So I think that's everything that we have at our disposal this turn. We can't, unfortunately, recruit any more men. Oh, yeah, we also have this attack to do as well. Which should be pretty good. So let's do the most damage, because I believe this is going to retreat back, which is great that we've got that on the run. And again, it really comes down, like, that was not the most efficient turn in the world. I definitely should have predicted that we were going to make this unit retreat and maybe force march this unit to here, so that I could have then killed this unit when it retreated back. Like, there's lots of small things like that which I'm still just very much learning. Okay, so there is some enemy air forces. I've got this unit coming out. We've got some cavalry here as well. The cavalry, so these are the reinforcements coming down, which is fine. Enemy planes, so we probably definitely want to try and just take out the Polish Air Force as quickly as possible. So as you can see, this unit has now moved out of the close terrain and into the field. And in the field, the unit doesn't use its close defense. It uses its normal ground defense, which is 10. So instead of 0 defense, it now has 10 defense, meaning this infantry is going to be a lot less effective against them, which is unfortunate. It does mean my tanks are going to be a little bit better. We're going to have to think what we actually want to do. So again, let's just continue to scout out. Again, we really want to try and catch this infantry in the forest, out of the forest as quickly as possible before they can entrench, because again, forests are one of those terrains that mean that you use your close defense, so generally infantry do a lot better in them, and tanks are very just not as effective. So we can probably definitely bring down this aircraft right here, and that'll be great, because that'll give us some good prestige to spend. Not that we have any, but you know, that's still good. Our planes can do some good damage. And then probably we're going to look to... Yeah, let's do this. So our tactical bomber has a very good hard attack. So let's bring it down here, and we'll drop it down on this scout car. And yeah, we can definitely take these guys out pretty effectively. So let's move the infantry into the airport. We will just take these guys out, and we can do this as well. And perfect. We managed to overrun it, so now we can get a good idea of what's in the town there. Perfect. We'll continue on our assault here as well, because we've actually already used a large amount of our planes. We'll get our artillery up here as well to start bombarding. I definitely want my artillery to come down here to the south. So if you're wondering what all these kind of car symbols are on the map, so vehicles have transports. I think at the moment this transport has a horse transport, which is kind of funny. But we basically have the ability to move in our transport. This transport with a little chevron next means that we can then dismount from our transport, and this means we'll be stuck in our transport. Generally, you want to dismount from your transport if you want to go ahead and basically be useful if the enemy attack us. Generally, I don't think the enemy will attack us, so I'm just going to move down to this road. And as you can see, it means we are still in our transport right here, but that is absolutely fine with me. You know, because I don't think we will be firing it, and we're going to need to start using this because the enemy is pretty heavily entrenched. And just look at that entrenchment value. Because they get entrenchment every single turn, that they don't do an action, this unit already has a minus 40% damage reduction to infantry, which is pretty goddamn crazy. It adds up, and yeah, it's extremely valuable. So this infantry, obviously, so we can move this infantry in, take this airport, and we'll need this airport for the range on our planes to probably strike a lot of these towns back here. And then we obviously also have this as well. So we can probably really hit like an infantryman like this, right? If I bring like right there, that actually should encircle. Oh no, because I got a spare hex here. We could definitely encircle this unit of cavalry and chain kill it if we wanted to. Okay, what I could actually do is actually encircle it with my infantry as well, which would not be bad. Then again, we're going to need the infantry to clear out a lot of these units, so I probably don't want to... so I could probably encircle this unit. Let's just do this. So we'll encircle this unit, but I'll leave my infantry here so they can, you know, get down to these towns. We're going to need infantry and artillery to really clear them up. Also, this artillery piece kills entrenchment every single attack as well, which is great. Yeah, let's start the mass attack. So have we got anything here that means we won't take damage? Doesn't look like it, right? We're gonna lose a Panzer some way or another, as we have no more planes left, and everything else has moved. So let's commission these attacks now. So I probably want to attack this from this unit first, because when units retreat, they move from the tile furthest. They move, basically try and move away. So I think what will happen is we'll attack here and the unit will retreat here. Again, continuing that encirclement, which will be great. So let's just do that. So the cavalry takes a bit of a pounding. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to... I should have probably checked the suppression. As units retreat when they take damage, 66% of their suppression. So basically, if you have a unit of 10 strength and it has 6 suppression, if you do... if they have 2 suppression, if you do 4 damage to it, it will retreat, basically. I've actually been encircled there, but we should be able to break that unit. Now, then we got overrun on this unit as well, so that's why it's great to use these tanks with overrun, as we can then, again, use them more to kind of continue to do more attacks and fire and cause some pressure on to the enemy. So do I want to lose some stuff here? That's the question. I don't know if I do want to lose. I mean, yes, right here, to do this damage is a certainty. But do I want to lose some damage on these scout cars? I mean, I guess, right? I guess you want to clear out any of these reinforcements, but I also kind of want to stop these guys from reinforcing. But we should be able to catch them. With the extra movement on our panzers, we should be fine. So we'll basically just try and do some damage. And then we can do this, actually, and kind of close off their retreat a little bit. And again, just continue to scout out a little bit more. We are still on country road, which is great, so it doesn't have that close terrain. And that's everything that's moving. So the game, on, you know, kind of on paper, is fairly simple, right? However, all the little like terrain details, the larger maps, unit v units, what units do, there's a lot of strategy involved in kind of really understanding the game. Oh crap, okay, so the enemy do have... oh no, the enemy tanks! Oh my god, I'm so bad. They're actually going to kill me. Oh, thank god they didn't take this unit out. Oh my god. Oh no, I did not. I mean, that's fine that I did that. But actually, let's just go back a little bit, just in case, because that was a misclick, obviously. So, as you can see, like, the AI has some fight left in them. That is for sure. What we could try and do is we could try and force march and get here and attack this unit in close terrain, because you always take the defender's tiles attributes. So, for example, if I was to force march, which gives me an extra movement for my unit, I could get here and attack them in the woods, and obviously this unit has 0 close defense and it's a wood, so it takes the close defense into consideration. This unit is also encircled, so we need to try and break it out. I don't think it'll be impossible to break it out. We should be fine. But yeah, also I didn't kill this as well, which I probably should, right? So let's get the infantry up here. So as you can see, this artillery piece does not have the greatest the greatest. Close defensive infantry does really well against it. We could also try and encircle the city as well if we wanted to, which I think we will. I believe you can encircle cities, but maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, there you go, encircled. So we can slowly work on this unit. Again, we got time. We've got 15 turns to take this. It's sunny all day, meaning that the ground's not going to turn to mud, and we're going to be fine. The Germans would definitely like to hear that. And we should just... Oh, I would lose a tank there, but that would give me overrun, right? Yeah. Did I not get overrun there? Can destroy overrun weakened enemy units without spending movement. The way it works is after an overrun attack move action of a unit will be... Yeah, I don't know why we didn't overrun there. Again, if you guys have any like important tips, do let me know in the comments down below, as I would really appreciate it. So we definitely need to try and clear out this area. That is for sure. And I think we can do it fairly easily. I don't think it'll be too difficult to try and clear out this area with what we've got. So I think what we will do is we will force march this unit, and we'll just get still a lot of casualties, but it's probably worth it, right? 4 damage on some of the scary Polish tanks. You know, whew, scary indeed. But I think it's probably worth it to get some damage off on that, for sure. You can also see as well, so ammunition is a thing in the battle, and ammunition replenishes every single turn that you're not encircled. And you use ammunition for every one of your attacks and counter-attacks. So by encircling my unit right here and attacking me multiple times, you can see this unit can't attack anymore because it's used up all 4 of its shots when they attacked me loads. So that's really interesting, right? Because by encircling me, I haven't got any ammunition, and now I can't kill any of these units. So basically, if I can't reinforce and break this encirclement, this unit will just die because it can't attack back to any of the enemy, and they'll just kill me. Which is, yeah, again, you know, fairly interesting. So I guess we have to just move to here with this unit. We could obviously, we can't force march either, yeah. I mean, I guess we're moving in there. So you guys... We've got 3 damage there. The artillery is not going to be in range no matter what, so we might as well advance it up to here. So that next turn, so we can at least cover this area and help out. We've already done these attacks right down here to the south, and now let's use our air force in the north. So we have some of our fighters that can be, you know, a pretty large help, honestly. So what do I want to do? Do I want to use my tactical bomber to try and clear out this infantry? It's probably much better on these vehicles, right? Yeah, much better on these vehicles. Let's move over here. So let's try and soften up this unit as we do add a little bit of suppression. And there you go. We've managed to make it so that we take 1 less damage on this infantry unit. And we can probably make this unit retreat. And then for our fighters, we'll probably just come in and do some damage to this unit right here, as I want to try my best to break the encirclement. And I guess why not here as well? We'll do some damage as well, because the 2 suppression is really nice. We'll come in here, we'll take this unit on, and we get overrun, which means we can now do this as well to really take on that unit. So they've now moved inside the forest, and all of a sudden, you can see things don't look great for me. But what I can do is I can bring up a unit that has good close defense and can juke it out, and this unit's suppressed. Unfortunately, we didn't kill it, though. But I could move into the... So what I'm going to... This unit should get overrun, right? If I kill this unit? No, it doesn't. Interesting. Okay, well, this vehicle can retreat back now. My scout car can come back. We can also even replenish it as well, which I'm probably going to do, right, as we have a lot of prestige. And because we've got that inept logistics commander, we don't have as many core slots, at least in this mission at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replenish this unit. It's going to take up some of my prestige, but we have a lot of that. And we'll replenish this car. And it basically means it just can't attack this turn. And it will get back up to full strength. The suppression will reset next turn. And then we'll go from there. So I am kind of ignoring this piece of AT, but it shouldn't really be able to do much. It might move up to here and attack my artillery, but besides that, we should be fine. And then we'll go ahead and initiate this attack as well, and we'll push back that tank. The only problem is now that these tanks can probably do a lot of damage to my unit here, so maybe I was a little bit too kind of aggressive here, as we do have 15 turns, right? But yeah, by moving here, this tank's probably going to move in and attack me, and I'm obviously in open ground, so I'm going to be using my normal hard defense, which is 8, rather than my my much superior close defense. What? Wait, what? Why do I have so much ground defense and no close? I thought infantry had. Why does this unit have no close defense? Does the infantry just not have close defense? I don't know. But either way, I'm going to probably get pounded in the fields because I'm just out in the open here. That's never going to be good. Oh, one of his tanks. This tank can move up, though, and maybe support a little bit. Stop them from really coming around. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So, as I said, they're going to come and engage my tanks. Oh, they really want to try and take out that Panzer. That's fine. They managed to make me retreat, but this tank can just fall back and probably replenish on the road, which is fine. I'm glad they didn't kill my infantry, because my infantry is pretty vital in this campaign. We've got our scout car up and running as well, so probably move the scout car up here. Just take out this tank, clear it out, because it also allows my infantry to move up here, or my artillery to move up here and actually bombard some of these units, which will then give us an easier time of clearing out that kind of reinforcement. So I'm probably... I mean, the artillery can definitely move into the town, for sure. We'll take that, and gives us 100 prestige as well, which is really nice. And I guess we want to also take the airport with some infantry. And then we'll move our panzers. So we can see that they are pretty heavily entrenched inside these cities. They've got a huge debuff to any damage coming in. So we're going to need this artillery piece pretty heavily to clear out these. And we'll try and set up some encirclements. I also need to kind of kill this AT. I don't want to just leave it behind. But I don't really want to waste my planes doing so. I guess we will... We could also just aerially... I mean, obviously, as you can see, our planes can't actually reach here, so we're going to need to take a turn to redeploy. But I think for now, what we'll do is we'll just clear out these guys really quickly. And then I'll send this fighter down here just to attack this. As planes return to their original airbase at the end of every beginning of your turn. Which is obviously always pretty interesting. So this tank... I think this tank is pretty safe here, because I'm going to bring up my other tanks in to try and secure this area. So I think what we can do is we can replenish. And now we have a decision to make, as we kind of got towards... We're pretty close to the first chevron of this tank. And again, you know, these early missions, these tanks are going to be pretty useful. But as we get further on into the war, these tanks, you know, are going to, you know, kind of fall away. I'm not sure if you can upgrade them into better tanks as the war goes on. Probably you can. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on elite replacement. So this is going to cost us basically double the cost. However, it's going to keep all the experience we have on this tank, which is very good. It obviously does take away all my movement range though, which obviously is not so good. So let's move our tank into position here. We're obviously going to try and clear out this Polish tank right there. Didn't get overrun, but that's fine. And then do we want to move our engineers into the forest? And I guess we do, right? Because we probably can make this unit retreat, which we can do. Perfect. We do take some damage of our own, but let's manage to really get them on the run, which is fine with me. Then we have this infantryman. Probably going to stick this infantry just in the forest here. Again, kind of just scout the bottom. We could definitely start the encirclement of the city pretty quickly if I brought this infantry down, which I'm probably going to do. So let's just do that. And I think that's everything, right? What have we got left? We've got nothing left now. This artillery probably needs to double time it around here as well, so we can just really demolish the entrenchment. Oh, some Polish tanks still left remaining. It could actually be a French tank right there. No, it's Polish. So that's a really cool thing as well, is you do have joint operations in this game. So a lot of the time you're going to find scenarios where you have, like before France, you obviously have the EDA. EDA, is that what it's called? The English... I can't even remember what the English army was called in World War II before conscription came in. But yeah, you have like, you know, a lot of English units kind of commanding the northern parts of France, and French units, you know, down by the Maginot Line, and cool stuff like that. So obviously clearing out this tank is pretty important, and obviously also maneuvering out the way here is also probably going to be pretty key. I desperately want to get this artillery piece up so we can start bombarding the places there. Oh, look at that. They've also actually taken back this settlement. That's kind of funny. So let's use one of our planes just to clear this guy out now. Again, it's kind of annoying having to use my tactical bomber on this, but it's my bad for not killing it. And we can just bring that back, take back the airport, and just bring that down. Their units have fallen back now, meaning that we should be able to clear them out. We should get a nice overrun on this unit as well. Yeah, perfect. Overrun, so now we can just kill 2 units. And we get 3. Oh my god, look at that overrun. That's insane, man. And I'll come back to that. But as you can see, that does take up our ammunition, right? So it slowly does whittle away on what we can do. I do really want to see what's inside this town. Because this is obviously very important. You know, this is one of their supply points. It's where they recruit units. So I guess the envelopment of this town is Also pretty important. That is clear. Okay, cool. Just kind of taking a look at what's around here, as you can get ambushed in this game if you click on a tile that the enemy already have a unit on. So, again, we're in no rush here. We can just kind of see what they have, and then next turn we can really set up our assault. I'll move these guys by truck, and as you can see, they don't get out of their truck. And then I'll also probably just be safe and move these guys up by our tanks as well, just so we can kind of cover this area, as I don't want anyone coming in and attacking me whilst I move in. Which is good. Okay, we also have this artillery piece as well. I guess we're going to double time it like up to here so we can really decide on what we want to do. And that's all our planes. We still have our planes left as well. Perfect. Probably going to take this time to redeploy our planes, so we'll go ahead and rebase our aircraft. I guess down to the south. Can we not redeploy? This is an airport, but maybe it's because we just took it. We can't then redeploy to it. So we'll just redeploy down here to the south. And this is our tactical bomb, which I really love to use, but I obviously also really want to start bombarding these towns. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we have plenty up here to the north, so it should be fine. And this artillery piece can also move up a little bit. Do we want to retreat this tank? I don't want to get out of supplied here. I guess we will retreat this tank a little bit. And we'll just probably next time replenish. We could have just replenished it. And again, we'll probably just sit here. I guess we'll start exchanging with them because we have all the time in the world, right? We'll start getting our infantry up here a little bit. Perfect. And the next turn, our aircraft will probably clear that unit out pretty effectively. So this is kind of what I expected to happen. We did take some heavy casualties, but it's fine. We got artillery up here. We can quite easily make this unit break fairly easily as our advancement does continue to move on. So we need to break this tank, obviously. That's like #1 priority is killing this tank right now. We have some tanks of our own and stuff like that, but I think mainly what I'm going to rely on is our aircraft. These are our fighters, right? That's annoying. That are tactical bombers. So this is going to have to take a turn to... I can't believe it can't redeploy down there. I don't really know why we can't deploy this, as that looks like an airfield, right? Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it is just a town. Okay, whatever. We'll just deploy it down here. So next turn will be pretty effective. And I guess we will start our bombardment. So we'll just use our fighters again. Not really ideal for this. We'll just use our fighters to add a little bit of aerial support to our units, which I think is fine. Thing is, do we want to go ahead and... We need to obviously break the entrenchment of a lot of these units, but killing this is obviously pretty important. Probably going to move down here to the south and just help out a little bit here. Because obviously breaking this unit is pretty important. And I think this unit of infantry is going to start making its way down here. So no, we've actually got a nice little encirclement here. So if I hit them... Oh, they retreated in the wrong direction. I did not think they would. But I do want to keep them in circles, so next turn we can just kill them. And we will... Do we move in and we start encircling this? I think we do, right? We take this airport, and then we move you in there. So they should be encircled now, right? Can I see if they're encircled? I'm not actually too sure. Maybe they're not because it's a major town and they have enough supplies. I don't think they are encircled, but maybe they are because they have this black ring around them. But so does this, actually. So I don't think they are encircled because it's like a major town and they have like maybe supply points here and there. But again, we're not looking to attack here. We're just looking to move in, and we'll start the attack when we've got this artillery piece up here, because we need to get that entrenchment value down. And we look at that minus 90% damage from vehicles. It's insane. We're going to need the Air Force, and we're going to need a lot more to break that. So obviously, killing this tank is also pretty important, so let's continue that on. We'll make some room as well, as we can now bring up some infantry as well. So we'll get some infantry on the road. We'll bring this down as well. So we can actually see they've got some artillery there, which is interesting. Also allow us to bring this up next turn. And yeah, you guys just replenish, I think. Get up to full strength so we can continue to start on our blitzkrieg. But we've made great progress so far, right? And hopefully you guys can really start to see the depth in the game. You know, especially when you're commanding these much larger scenarios. Okay, they're going to hit me hard there, which is fine. I'm happy if the AI wants to attack me, because the thing is, if the AI attacks me here, they don't lose any of their entrenchment, but they're kind of losing numbers, which is going to make it much easier for me to break in here and attack them. So let's move up here so we can start getting down that entrenchment. And also, if they attack my tanks or anything, obviously I'm not in this airfield isn't close terrain, so we don't have to worry about that close defense, and we're gonna slaughter infantry if they come at me. But we can start reducing that entrenchment value. So it was 9, and now it's down to 7. So that's great news for me. And also, I guess what we'll do is we'll like move into here. So yes, nice. We've encircled this unit. So I wonder why this unit's encircled, but this unit isn't. Maybe because the bridge. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. If I'm honest. So well, we can bring our artillery up and again start working on that encirclement. So again, the suppression isn't going to reset at the beginning of next turn because they're encircled, which is just huge. So we can really start to work on that. Let's move in here and we'll just start the attack on this tank. Really start to break that down. Encirclement there. These tanks are fine. I guess I do want to try and see that tank taken care of. So we'll just move into one of our fighters and just take care of that tank. That basically means we're a lot more safe here. I need to obviously... sorry about that. I think we're fine attacking this with infantry because our infantry should clear this out pretty easily. And I would very much like to start causing some suppression. Because if we could break these guys out of this position, because again, this 6 suppression is not going to reset. So we could next turn, we could quite easily break this unit and make it retreat outside the city. So let's do that. I'm probably going to go for an overrun here. So let's attack them with our planes. And you'll kill that, allowing you to do that. Again, we're still not encircled. Do let me know what I've done wrong here. And why this unit isn't encircled. Because I'm covering every single hex, right? You're covering both of these. You're covering both of these, right? Oh, it's probably because I can't move here because it's connected to the city. So this hex isn't technically taken up. Or maybe it's because it's a major city. It's one or the other, right? That's one of the other reasons. But this is also a town, whereas this is a city. No, this is also a city. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. So again, no need to kind of really be aggressive here. I might even just replenish these guys so they get up to full strength. Any of these tanks I'm not really moving, I think are fine. The artillery is going to break down their entrenchment. I think next turn with our planes, our aerial superiority, we'll be able to win this mission. So the artillery is going to come in and do some suppression. But luckily for me, the suppression isn't going to be an issue because my suppression replenishes at the beginning of my turn because I'm not enveloped. So again, we can move this up. So we've got their suppression up, and their entrenchment is down to 5 now, which is huge. And as you can see, look at that. Yeah, we can quite easily break this unit now, which is perfect. So do we want to try and... I think this might even just kill it because they're surrounded. Because when units are surrounded, I don't think they can retreat. But let's have a look. So they have, what? How much suppression on them? They have 10 suppression. So just one attack will kill them. And do they just surrender? They don't surrender. Interesting. Okay. But then they retreat from there. Okay. So now we can actually take the town, which is great news for us. So we've taken the town, got some extra money. And then we can really push on to their position. So let's just make sure we kill this unit. We'll get the overrun ability, allowing us to do 2 attacks. And something to keep in mind is that the overrun ability, the suppression won't replenish at the beginning, the end of my turn, right? So when the AI takes their turn, this unit is still going to have a suppression point. So that's always something very, very important to keep in mind, is that your units on the enemy turn, if you've taken suppression on your turn, will still have that suppression. Which is, again, obviously always pretty important. So we obviously want to try and break this unit as quickly as possible. Take some suppression because of the artillery. So artilleries and AT guns have a special ability that allows them to support surrounding units. So basically, if I was to come up and attack a unit by it with a tank, this AT gun could take... so basically, if there was an infantry unit here, and I attacked the infantry unit with my tank here, the AT gun would support, just like how the artillery gun just supported there. So this unit, I think I'm just going to replenish with some veterans as we have so much money. And again, we'll just continue to whittle this thing down. Next turn, we should have this... we'll actually bring up this as well. Yeah, next turn we should have their entrenchment down enough for my assault to really kick in. Over on this side as well, we can really bring up the artillery. So next turn we can bombard the city. And we also still have our air force as well. Oh, that's nice. That's a lot of damage on that. Let's drop them bombs down. Take the artillery down. Fighters, unfortunately, can't do anything. I don't think they also do any suppression either, so it's basically just a waste here of doing anything here. Yeah. I mean, this does actually add a suppression. Nice. I mean, they're not encircled anyway because of this bridge, I believe. And one of the really cool things you can do in this game is you can actually, so they're just going to bunker down and not do anything interesting. One of the things you can do in the game is you can get units that, or infantry that allow you to make mobile bridges. So for example, I could, if I had the special unit, I could cross this river and outflank the enemy. Like, that's just so awesome, man. It really is. So let's again bombard this. So I assume that this is the tile that's supplying them, because I can't get to it, and I think I can't get to it because of the road leading into it. Which again is absolutely fine. Okay, so we obviously want to kill this artillery piece first. I also want to bombard them there so they don't get hit. They're also not encircled yet, so probably because no, all their tile. This should be like a huge encirclement, should it not? Is it because this unit is still alive? I wonder. Oh, we'll kill that unit anyway. Yeah, how is this not an encirclement? Is it again just because it's a town? Oh, because it's a supply hex, right? Because I know you deploy it on supply hexes. You can disband, upgrade and disband units and supply hexes. Also, as long as there is a supply line from a unit to a friendly supply hex. Yeah, so this unit won't... I don't think I can get this unit encircled because it's on a supply hex. So that's obviously why I can't encircle this unit either. Again, makes a lot more sense now. So let's just be a little bit more aggressive, start clearing them out. Their entrenchment value is down to 4 now. The tanks still suck, but I think we can just break them from this entrenchment now. Yeah, they'll basically be done next turn, which is great. Maybe even, yeah, actually this turn as well. Perfect. And we'll take the town and also take the bridge as well. Perfect. And then it's just this place to take care of. We'll again kill these guys. So you can actually see as well right here. You can see that red line is showing I'd lose 6 tanks if I did a headlong attack into this infantry. One, because it's close terrain, and also because of the AT gun right there protecting them. Again, that's fine with me. Cool, so that's everything, right? We've done... we actually have some infantry here as well, which I guess we will bring down. Not that we really need it. Oh yeah, we also have aircraft as well. Let's bombard. Let's start doing some damage to this AT gun right here. Try and clear that out. I don't think any of these do suppression. Oh, we do. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, because we got that 50% random effect on, we do actually do some damage to them. Nice. Okay, we should be able to clear this up now. So let's just take this out. Infantry moves in. Infantry just kills them. Perfect. Planes come in. We should be able to just overrun them. They've got what, 4 suppression. I think we win now. Yeah, there you go. They retreat. We move in. And we win the campaign. Huzzah! Awesome stuff. So that was just the first scenario of a large amount. And the cool thing is you can also replay these missions. You can see the awards of heroes and medals. This was kind of too much of a small scenario, so we didn't really get to see that. But you can see your kill to loss ratio and stuff like that. So our planes obviously going to be amazing with Luftwaffe. It's great. You can also just review the battlefield as well, so you can kind of see, oh, you know, maybe the enemy were mounting a counter-offensive here, but I managed to take the final objective. I would have loved to have killed that unit, but I could have just, you know, set that up a little bit better. And there you go. That's going to be the first mission of Panzer Corps 2. And again, like, you know, that's just a little taste. And you can immediately jump into the next mission. However, we will not do this mission. Oh, you can also see as well, we got some medals now from that previous battle. So, is this a hero or is this, no, is this a hero? I'm not sure if this is a hero or... When attacking pinned enemies units, is this mine? Is this my commander? No, this is a hero, yeah. So that's a hero which you can apply to units, I believe. Which again is really, really cool. And you can see, like, this is a bit of a larger scenario, but trust me, it is nothing. So this is the assault on Warsaw. Interesting, you actually have to capture all of the positions within 20 turns this time. So not a bad amount of time. But what I will do quickly, guys, is I'll show you, if we go back to the main menu, I'll show you one of the largest scenarios. Or one of the larger. This isn't even the largest. I think there's 2 more larger map modes in this. Oh, I can't see it because of, oh, that's so annoying. I guess we could show it to Brick, because it's basically my opponent's turn right now. We stopped playing, and he has to do his turn before we can do it. Fort de France is huge, though. Actually, maybe I could show it. I could just load up a scenario, right? and show you guys one of the scenarios. Is there one here? Oh, that's kind of cool. You got kind of like fiction. Look at the Navy as well. That's really cool. How large are some of these maps? That's kind of cool. You got the entirety of Crete here as well. That's awesome. It doesn't actually show me how large the maps are. Oh well, we can just load into one of. I mean, Tobruk is pretty big, right? If I create a scenario, I can actually see how big the Tobruk is. What really? Tobruk is small size? Oh my god. I mean, yeah, I guess France is very big. I mean, anyway, the maps get huge is what I'm trying to get at, basically. Is the maps can just get absolutely massive. I guess I could show you guys a random scenario, maybe? I mean, Crete's probably pretty big, right? And so is this. It's annoying that it doesn't tell me how large the maps are. Let's just load into this map. I know Crete is fairly big, but let's just load into this map really quickly and just take a look, because like when you really get the true feel of the scale, oh, it gets crazy. And especially when you're playing against another person as well, you really just, you really just get into some pretty crazy strategic outplaying and thinking. And, with movement of units and stuff, like, and how important entrenchment is as well in the game. Like, it gets pretty crazy. Also, nice. This is the full of, is this a map we were just looking at? No, this is much larger. This is basically the entire, oh my god, look at this map. This is literally like the entirety of Poland, right? Yeah, it literally is. Wow, that's wild. And you have the, this is the invasion of Poland. Man, I really hope they add this scenario to multiplayer, because this is awesome. And again, this isn't really the largest. I would say this is like a medium-sized map. And there's large and there's extra large next to it. And you also have some naval ships as well, which is just so cool. Okay, guys, well, there you go. That is going to be Panzer Corps. If you guys want to see more of it, do let me know in the comments down below, and obviously by dropping a like on the video. If you guys want to go ahead and pick this game up for yourself, make sure you use my Games Planet link for 10% off. Also, obviously, free keys for the original game with all the DLC. Thanks to Slytherin, so massive thank you to them for hooking me up and hooking you guys up. And then finally, massive thank you to all my Patreons and YouTube members. You guys help keep the channel going, so thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys in the next one.